Today is Friday, May 31st, and here are Morphmarket's hottest auctions of the week. There is a lot of good stuff available today, so let's get right into it. Starting off with this Enchi 100% Het Puzzle from Chimera, who again is a very trustable big-time breeder. They produce quality animals, and this one I think is going to stay in a fairly good price range. It's 125 bucks right now, 15 bids. We all know that the last 5 minutes can get a little spicy, but with this just being one single incomplete dominant, I think some people, let's face it, they look at stuff like this and they say it's nothing special, right? But that Het Puzzle is really where it's at, and it's a female. So if you want to get into the project for cheaper and you really want to work puzzle, get yourself that visual puzzle male and pick yourself up some of these Het Puzzles. This is a good way to do it. This is going to be a bargain in my opinion. It's going to be a good price. So keep this one on your radar. I think it's a good idea if you're into the puzzle project. Next would be a grouping. These ones look to be pretty big. Whenever you see that 1.1, it means one male, one female. A 0.1 is just a female, a 1.0 is a male, so on and so forth. These are ready to breed. That's what RTB means. That's huge. And this pricing is very, very nice. The female is a Mojave clown, possible Het Lavender, and the male is a super pastel clown Het Lavender, so 100% lavender. So honestly, for this price point right now, for ready to breed, this pairing is crazy. I normally wouldn't care to have the super pastel in there, so everything's going to be pastel from this pairing anyways. 50% of the time you're going to get that Mojave. Every single thing is going to be a clown, 100%. And if it is lavender, this possible het, then you have a chance at that as well. That would be so worth it. At this price point right now, even if it goes a bit higher, you're going to make your money back even if this isn't het lavender. It's as simple as that. Hitting clown to clown is always fun too. So this is a really good thing for someone that's kind of getting their feet wet, that's maybe looking to make the next step. Somebody who has a little bit of experience under their belt, but maybe doesn't want to invest an absolute boatload of money in things. This is the potential chance to hit what they call the Grails, the clown lavender albinos. This could really change things for you. For only a minimal amount of work, you could start looking real good. Next up would be this super pastel Het Hypo Het Desert Ghost. I wanted to pick this one because, for one, it's pretty much ready to breed. 1,400 grams, it's right there, and it looks really good. I know it's super pastel, but that's 1,400 gram snake, and it looks like that. It looks like it almost is Desert Ghost, just a little bit. The fact that is it being Het Desert Ghost Het Hypo, both of these being in your female, this is a crazy good deal. 10 bids, 150 bucks. It'll go for a little bit more, but I don't know how much more. And the supposedly just super pastel looks incredible. For a ready to breed animal, super pastels, I don't think they brown out, even if they're super pastels, at least a bit more than this. Incredible looking animal, ready to breed pretty much. And you could possibly get that, if you've got a male to go to this, especially maybe a Desert Ghost Het Hypo or a Het Hypo Desert Ghost with some extra stuff in there. Or maybe you want to do the cheaper route and do double het. Well, it's pretty much ready. And you get a male, you get it up to size very quickly, I'm sure. Or just get one, they're a little bit cheaper, I'm sure. So absolutely worth a look. Could go for a incredible deal. The next one up, obviously, is not going to be an incredible, crazy breeder. But just as a pet, you can get this paradox here. It's not an incredible, massive example of a paradox, but it is one. And it's always cool to see one. You don't always see these for sale. People like to hang on to them because they're unique. So if that's what you're into, if that's what you want, go for it. Because it is an all-white snake with blue eyes that also has a little teensy bit of pattern right there that breaks the rules. You can kind of see the pastel coming through there, and that's pretty neat. It is a female as well. So even if you are into breeding and you wanted to somehow justify this to yourself, you justify it because the price, I think, might stay a little bit lower. It's always going to throw Mojaves, and you can just create bells with it. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody loves creating bells if you just need something that sells on your table. Blue-eyed leucistics always sell. So you get yourself another gene in the blue-eyed leucistic, like lesser or something like that, and go for that. Justify having a cool paradox because it's in your female. The male, you get it too, he has more uses. Maybe he's clown, but he also has just one of them genes, a lesser. Maybe he's got lesser in there, maybe he's got something in there. Just try to find something, get that one extra gene in there, and then you can throw him to her once a year, make some bells, Heck, maybe he has to have some other cool stuff in there, you know, call it a day. Justify getting a cool paradox for yourself. Why not, right? Moving back into the puzzle would be a visual one this time. From both Python Shed would be the Orange Dream Yellowbelly puzzle. I'm not sure, but I think you have to pay extra money for these things. He always has these little emojis and whatnot in there. It's super unique and cool. Orange Dream and Yellowbelly, they always go well together. Throw the puzzle in there and you just get this crisp, cool, clean looking color, because puzzle kind of lightens it up as well. Look at the blacks on this animal. They are dark, and then for contrast, you've got your normal snake color, some burnt oranges, splicing into some browns and some yellows, and then you get the whites in there as well. There's a lot going on with this pattern too. It's just so cool. That's why I love puzzle. It's a male, so this could be a really good breeder for you if you're getting into the puzzle project. $480 right now. Lot of interest in this one though. It's gonna go, well, it's at least gonna go for $500 right in front of my face. Okay, well, $500. It's gonna go for more, but very cool animal, and I think it could be a powerful breeder for you. Let's leave this page before it goes up even more. Here we go. There's some desert ghost clown action on Morphmarket Auctions this week, and spoiler alert, it's not the last one. It is at $1,000 right now, and the reserve price has not been met. Yes, it has a reserve price. Everybody always says they don't care for them. They're there to protect the buyer, and I believe in freedom like that. Now, I don't like them either, but I might like them if I'm selling an animal like this, and I want to make sure that it doesn't go for a complete steal, because this is an expensive animal. This is not your under $1,000 type animal. This is going to go for a bit more, but throw a bit on there that you're comfortable with, and it's not going to hurt. You don't pay it if it doesn't meet the reserve. So if you are interested though, by all means, take advantage of the possible deals you could get on this one. A girl at that. So moving on would be this Stranger GHI Mystic Pastel. 50% het clown from Amos Reptiles, a very good breeder. Stranger has had a good amount of representation on the auctions, and it deserves it. Now, I personally think that the Mystic and the Pastel combined, at least, don't do this animal any favors. I think the two of them combined, especially that Pastel, beat up on what Stranger and GHI would be normally doing, as in absolutely cool combo in here. So, kind of see here what it looked like when it was a little bit younger and whatnot. You can see that Pastel is kind of taking away that cool darkness that the Stranger and the GHI tag team make. Regardless, if this male here ends up proving out as het clown, which again is a genetic you can have sent out to be tested for, it really won't matter because you're not going to hit on everything Pastel. You could possibly get the Stranger GHIs into some clown stuff, which would make you a rock star, especially if you could just hit the Just a Mystic and leave that Pastel behind. Again, I'm not hating on Pastel. I like Pastel in certain things. I would probably not want it in this personally anyways, but if this male proves out and if you can get this boy for, you know, around this price, I don't think he'll go for a terrible amount more. If I'm guessing, probably in the 500s, and you could get yourself into the Stranger gene and roll the dice on possibly getting a het clown here. Send that test in right away. Even if it doesn't prove out a clown, you're still gonna get use out of the Stranger GHI. That combo right there, I think could be worked into a lot of cool things to make a lot of absolutely insane combos. I had to call attention to one of the most criminally underrated genes in ball pythons, and that would be Bongo, especially this Bongo clown. This is insanely cool. How it kind of brings in this GHI type stuff, but amps it up to 1,000. You get a lot of this granulation. The pattern, it almost looks like you've had one too many drinks in a way, and it's just really wavy and goofy. Almost like some sort of trick of the eye, some carnival trick. And this is just Bongo and clown. This is also 66% het hypo. So you want to talk about some power here, especially if you get that hypo. That's some power. Represent Bongo, get into some things, make yourself a powerhouse animal with this. Before we move on, look at that head. That is super cool. Like a penny, like a bronze statue of some sort, with just enough little whites underneath the eyes and the nose to just kind of call itself out and accentuate this cool head. I might consider this boy, even though it's just a couple genes. I have flirted with the idea of getting into Bongo for a while now, and I feel like there's some interest here because there's some people who know what they're seeing right now. This is so cool. 135 bucks. It's gonna go for more, but it's gonna go for less than it should. This is nuts. You get some other things in here that you can work. Red stripe, black pastel maybe. You know, kind of go down a little bit of those Pompeii routes and whatnot, but maybe take it a swerve into another direction, get some other jeans in there too. Worth a look, criminally underrated jean. Don't sleep on it. Next, from Bob's Balls, now we are looking at an Enchi Spotnose banana clown. Honestly, there's banana and clown. I love it, and I will always love it. It's the absolute peak of a bright clown is the banana clowns, especially with Spotnose, with Enchi. Those I think are top tier. This one's pretty well started, a female at 400 grams. There's a lot of potential here. Obviously a banana female at that. There's a lot of different routes you could work with this. You work this into some sort of Batman project, get yourself a leopard clown male with some other genetics in there as well. At 250 bucks, I don't think that this will go again for what it's worth. And I think that you could get an incredible deal here. So worth it even as a pet level. These are so cool regardless of the reasoning, whether you want a pet or you want a breeder. They are incredibly beautiful snakes. So vibrant. If only they could just get Yellowbelly in there, I think that would be the brightest that you could possibly get this. I'm sure I'm not thinking of something that you could also throw in there, but we'll go ahead and move on to, again, Bob's Balls. Now this one has some crazy breeding potential. Pastel Banana Yellowbelly Clown Het Pied female. So you are not only getting that banana in your female, which means that everything that you breed isn't just going to be male, which is a big thing with the banana gene. Male bananas, unless they're female makers, are mostly all going to make male bananas again. We made a whole video about that if you're interested on how the banana gene works, and there's plenty of other people out there that have done the same. But I think I like this one a bit better. This one has more of that orangey type colors in there, but my only problem with this one is it kills the lavender to get that. You still kind of get the oranges in here. There's the lavender. That's why I like this one a tad bit better. Plus, as a breeding standpoint, now you're getting Het Pied. It's along for the ride. So now you can get into the clown pieds along with the banana, and banana pieds are awesome. Banana clowns are awesome. Well, why not combine them into something even better? The only thing this is missing from the last one, I think, would be the Spotnose. I think the Enchi would take away these lavenders, obviously, is what I think it did in the last one. But the Spotnose, I think you'd keep that. So also well started at 300 grams. You get two of them here from Bob's Balls. If you wanted to make yourself a banana clown team right here, well, look no further. It is a cool looking animal. I like this one better than the other one personally, but they're both very awesome. Next up would be someone who is decently close to us, and Mark Petrus. I have seen his extreme gene animals on here from time to time, and I really love them. I bid on one once. You see here, it is $75 right now. It looks to be a pretty good size right now. I don't know how big that rock is, but kind of see in general it just looks like a pretty good size. It is an extreme gene pastel clown, possible het tri-stripe. That would completely change the game. Tri-stripe is a huge up-and-coming gene. Bring those nice stripes. I think that tri-stripe has a lot of stuff it has going for it. So if you were to hit on that, that would be an incredible animal. But the extreme gene, I really like it. It seems to clean things up. There's a lot of other genes that are comparative or might literally be the same that you've heard the name under. But the point is this is an awesome animal. And look what it's done to Pastel here. This is a cool animal. It's a lot of cool pattern morphs and whatnot on there too, with some melting on the sides, but I really think it cleans it up quite a bit. I like what Extreme Gene does, and I see Mark working this stuff a lot, so it's way worth more than 75 bucks. And heck, if you're local, you're kind of how we are, maybe you can just meet up with him and skip on shipping completely. Like I said, this deserves to be more than 75 bucks, and it's gonna go for something more. Worth a look if you want to get into a gene that is an enhancer, basically. All right, we're back into the Desert Ghost category, and that would be with this Orange Dream Desert Ghost. This is a poster child for what Desert Ghost can do for you. Right now, one bid at $215. A male, just a good way to possibly get into the Desert Ghost project with something that's got a little bit extra oomph to him. Fairly well started here. You can probably get him up to size in under a year. Yeah, I would love to see this into Yellowbelly, obviously, the Orange Dream Yellowbelly, Desert Ghost. Throw him to maybe one of those with the clown instead and start making some of your double hets. So you hit everything that's double het and start going from there. That it'd be pretty cool. So just a really clean, cool example. Caught my attention. I figured I'd show it off and shout it out. And right back into the Desert Ghost Clowns. Again, the reserve price has not been met on this. This is a pretty well started boy here at 312 grams. But look how clean this animal is. This is like a different kind of creamy orange that you don't normally see on your ball pythons. I can't believe that there's 2 Desert Ghost Clowns on Morphmarket this week. Again, they both have reserves that need to be met. This is from Halker's Herps. Again, a very cool, trustable breeder. I've bought from Chad a few times. I've always had a good experience. Makes quality animals, beautiful animals. Again, this one, so what is the other one? I think it was 1,000 or something like that. Let me click on it here. Yep, so these are ending for more. These are both cool, and you don't always see this available on Morphmarket. They go for a lot more than that, so take advantage of it, bid what you're comfortable with. Maybe you can walk out with something really, really cool. Now, the distinction here is that this is a male, that is a female. Normally your females go for more, but males can pass both of those genetics on a little bit more, but people still tend to think that this is a female game, and I did at one point too. Yes, you're female heavy, but your males should have all the pack genes. And I think that the way people think still maybe about the females, that this might go for less than the other. If you can hit that reserve price, this could be a steal. Next, into another gene that kind of cleans things and brightens things up would be this super pastel Yellowbelly white lace. White lace is another term for super lace. It really cleans it up. It really creates this beautiful animal. This is not what a super pastel normally looks like. Doesn't matter if Yellowbelly's in the mix or not. It's be a good size again. The colors are just so beautiful, so bright. And the pattern is super cool and unique as well. Yes, no recessives in this, but who cares? Because you can get into lace guaranteed. So breed this into some of your recessive females, and they will all be lace, het for whatever you did it for. Great way to create your hets. It's still got a lot of time left, and another reserve price. So I don't know what this reserve price will be. Light laces can be worth a little more, but who knows. So again, throw what you're comfortable on there and get a chance to get into the lace project guaranteed when you breed this boy to your females. And we're gonna go ahead and end it on the stunner, because this is cool. Super Orange Dream, Yellowbelly Fire, or Vanilla. They're very similar. Pin Clown. That's why they put or. I guess the breeding was an OD YB Fire Pin Clown crossed to an OD Enchi Vanilla Het Clown. The snake itself is awesome. You don't see things like this all the time. This is absolutely stunning. The bright orange, the pattern being on there just enough to create these small teeny little bit of floating confettis all over it. You get a little Z right there. There's so much to love about this animal. There's barely any pattern, but that's okay because when it comes in, it's unique. Look at this. It's a rusty red type color. Not reds. Obviously, we all know that that's the elusive color on ball pythons that we can never get. But it is a rust, which is technically an orange. It's kind of like a mix of yellow and red. Anyways, just such a cool, stunning animal. And there's just so much you could do with something like this. This is where fire works, or vanilla. Sometimes people put it into things and ends up dulling it out. But when you're going for brightening, that's where you do it. I don't want it in things that I want dark. I want it in things that are just bright. But the funny thing is about this is that it succeeds on being bright, but it doesn't just wash out the pattern. These are prevalent. When it shows the pattern, even though it's super reduced, but when it shows, it's there. Like I said, it looks like cuts in a way, or like just rusty barbed wire kind of going around it. Just everything works for this animal. It's super cool. A male that can pass all of this genetic goodness into your project. There's so much in here that you could throw it into to make it work. You could put this into the highway clown projects. It would work so good in there. Or save some money in asphalt het clown female. You are not going to regret that choice. You're going to always get an Orange Dream in there. Everything will be het clown minimum. And then what are your chances of something of these passing on are high. That's what I think right away, is that I buy this, I want to go into the freeways and get some asphalts. And you know what, while you're at it, go into some of the other ones too. Some super stripes, all sorts of those cool Yellowbelly complexes. Definitely a powerful breeder. 350 bucks with 8 bids. It's got some interest. Keep an eye on this one. Maybe around when this is starting to end. If this is still floating in this range, I could possibly even be in on something at that price. Easily. It's very tempting not to, at the very least, I should say. That will do it for this week's auctions. But if you like this video, you can actually check out a video where we had a little bit of fun and I built a ball python breeding team with parameters set by my brother and editor in 30 minutes right here.